Somewhere in the shadows of our modern world, ancient cultures continue to breathe unchanged, untamed, and almost unimaginable. These are not myths, nor pages from forgotten folklore. They are real people, real tribes, living with customs so extraordinary. They challenge what we think we know about life, death, beauty, and belief. A sect that meditates beside corpses in India, a tribe that kills strangers who dare approach their island, a people who sleep beside their mummified ancestors, or slice off fingers to mourn the dead. Across jungles, mountains, tundras, and time itself, these cultures have survived, preserved in secrecy and mystery. Are they echoes of a forgotten human truth, or something far stranger? Today, we explore 8 of the world's most bizarre and unexplained traditions, where the line between spirituality and taboo is blurred, and nothing is ever quite what it seems. Welcome to a journey beyond civilization, into the last great mysteries of humankind. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because by joining us, you'll unlock the secrets of wealth, health, and fortune. 1. The Aghori, India's mystics of death and liberation. In the heart of India, beyond the chaotic cities and sacred temples, exists a group that most people would never dare approach. They are cloaked in ash, seated beside funeral pyres, meditating where others fear to tread. This is the world of the Aghori, a sect of mystics whose lives revolve around what most of us try to avoid: death. To outsiders, their practices seem unthinkable. They live among the dead, meditate beside burning bodies, and some even use human bones in their rituals. But for the Aghori, these are not acts of darkness, they are acts of spiritual liberation. Their origins trace back to Shaivism, the ancient path devoted to Lord Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and transformation. Unlike conventional followers, the Aghori believe that nothing in this world is impure, not even the human body after death. In their view, what society fears the most: decay, rot. The end of life is merely a gateway to enlightenment. Their way of life is meant to shock the soul awake. Some use human skulls as symbolic vessels in their rituals, not as an act of cruelty, but as a rejection of illusion, a declaration that there is no separation between the divine and the profane. To the Aghori, fear is the final chain of the human ego, and by embracing the terrifying, they believe they can destroy it. But such radical beliefs haven't come without controversy. The Aghori are often feared and misunderstood by mainstream society. Their appearance and behavior place them far outside India's cultural norms. And yet, paradoxically, many Hindus still respect their devotion to Lord Shiva, seeing them as spiritual warriors who walk the hardest path. So who are the Aghori? Really, are they visionaries who have unlocked a secret most of us are too afraid to seek? Or are they simply lost in a spiral of extremes? Perhaps, as with all great mysteries, the truth lies somewhere in between, in that fragile space where death meets divinity and madness dances with awakening. 2. The Sentinelese, the world's most isolated tribe. Imagine an island where time stands still, where no planes fly overhead, no phones ring, and no outsider has ever set foot and lived to tell the tale. Welcome to North Sentinel Island, one of the most forbidden places on Earth. Tucked deep within the Bay of Bengal, this island technically belongs to India, but in every other way, it belongs to another world entirely. Here lives the Sentinelese, a mysterious tribe untouched by modern civilization. No one knows how they think, what they believe, or even what language they speak. For centuries, they've lived in total isolation, resisting every attempt at contact with fierce hostility. To them, outsiders are not visitors, they are threats. In 2018, a missionary attempted to bring Christianity to the island. He never came back. Even helicopters that try to survey from the air are met with arrows and stones. The Sentinelese have made one thing very clear: they want to be left alone. But why such violent rejection? Some believe it's out of fear of diseases that wiped out other tribes after contact. Others say it's instinct, a deep-seated drive to protect their way of life from the modern world's chaos. To protect both the tribe and those who might disturb them, the Indian government has declared the island off-limits. No boats, no tourists, no rescue mission. Violating this boundary isn't just illegal, it could be fatal. In a world obsessed with discovery and control, the Sentinelese stand as a living paradox. They are a people who have chosen the unknown, who live beyond our satellites, screens, and schedules. A civilization that exists just out of reach, like a ghost from humanity's distant past. So the question remains, what secrets lie behind their silence? What wisdom is hidden in their isolation? And more hauntingly, how long can a civilization stay hidden from the rest of mankind? 3. The Toraja, living with the dead. In most of the world, when someone passes away, we mourn, we bury, and we move on. But high in the misty mountains of Sulawesi, Indonesia, there's a culture that views death through a very different lens. Welcome to the land of the Toraja, where the dead don't leave immediately. In fact, they stay for weeks, months, even years, and sometimes they come back. To the Toraja people, death isn't a sudden end, it's a slow journey. When a loved one dies, they are not considered truly gone. They are treated as if they are still alive, fed, spoken to, and cared for, their bodies resting in the family home, surrounded by love. And then comes the Manene ritual, the moment when the boundary between life and death blurs even further. Every few years, the Torajans exhume the bodies of their ancestors. They wash them, dress them in fresh clothes, and even pose with them for family portraits. To outsiders, it may seem unsettling, but for the Toraja, it's an act of profound love and honor. Some of these bodies have been preserved for decades. Clothing may be crisp, faces still recognizable, a haunting, almost timeless presence. The care taken in these rituals is meticulous. It's not about fear, it's about respect, connection, and a refusal to let go. Why do they do it? Because to the Toraja, the bond with one's family doesn't end with death. Spirits linger, watching, waiting for proper rituals to guide them peacefully into the afterlife. Ignoring them could bring misfortune, while honoring them keeps the harmony between worlds. To many Western viewers, this may straddle the line between reverence and discomfort, but perhaps it's a reminder that the way we deal with death reveals what we truly believe about life. So here lies the mystery. Are the Toraja clinging to the past, or have they simply redefined what it means to never say goodbye? In their quiet rituals and tender gestures, we glimpse something deeper, a culture where love transcends time, and where the dead are never truly gone. 4. The Danny cutting fingers for the dead. Most of us grieve in silence. Some cry, some pray, some light a candle, but in the remote highlands of Papua, grief takes a far more visceral form, one that leaves a permanent mark on the body. Here live the Danny people, a tribe nestled deep within the misty mountains of Indonesia's Papua region. For centuries, they've followed a painful ritual that shocks outsiders. They cut off their own fingers when a loved one dies. Yes, you heard that right. A mother mourning her child, a sister grieving her brother. They offer a piece of themselves in mourning. A finger, removed at the second joint, becomes a symbol of eternal loss. But why to the Dani? Death isn't just emotional, it must be felt physically. Pain honors pain. By sacrificing part of their body, they express the depth of their sorrow and send a piece of themselves to accompany the departed into the spirit world. This practice, known as ikapalan, is especially common among women. Elderly women in the tribe often bear hands missing multiple fingers, each absence telling a story of a soul lost, a bond broken, a love remembered. The process is raw, intimate, and sacred. The fingers are typically tied tightly with string to numb the area, then severed using tools like axes or knives. Sometimes, ashes are rubbed on the wound to stop the bleeding and prevent infection. To modernize, it's painful to watch, but for the Dani, it's a communal expectation, a ritual of healing and belonging. Grief becomes visible, permanent, and shared. Of course, the Indonesian government has now banned the practice, but among older generations, the tradition remains etched, not just in memory but in flesh. So the question lingers, can you measure love in fingers lost? Is it grief or sacrifice, devotion or despair? One finger, one farewell. And in the Dani Highlands, a single hand might hold the sorrow of an entire lifetime. 5. The mercy, beauty beyond the lip. In a world ruled by filters and flawless smiles, imagine a place where beauty is measured in inches, not of height or hair, but of the lower lip. Welcome to the realm of the Mercy tribe in southern Ethiopia. Here, in the sun-scorched Omo Valley, lives a people with one of the world's most fascinating and controversial beauty rituals. For Mercy women, true beauty begins with a blade. Around puberty, a girl's lower lip is cut and gradually stretched into a wide, round opening where a clay or wooden plate is inserted. The larger the plate, the more admired she becomes. To outsiders, it may look shocking, but for the Mercy, The lip plate is a symbol of maturity, of pride, of readiness for marriage. It is not just ornamentation, it is identity, etched into the face for all to see. Some believe the tradition began as a way to deter slave traders, a disfigurement meant to protect young women from being taken. Others say it's a mark of resilience, a rite of passage that binds generations of mercy women through shared experience. The process is not without pain. Each new plate stretches the lip further, and the largest can span 5 inches or more. But the women wear them with fierce dignity, a declaration that beauty isn't defined by comfort or conformity. In today's world, the lip plate has sparked fierce debates. Some call it archaic or even harmful. Others see it as a powerful statement of cultural preservation in a rapidly modernizing world. UNESCO and anthropologists alike now recognize the mercy way of life as an intangible cultural heritage, something not to be erased, but understood. So here's the question: is this tradition a relic of the past or a form of empowerment misunderstood by outsiders? To the mercy, it's neither strange nor extreme. It is sacred, personal, and beautiful in ways that challenge everything we think we know about aesthetics. Because in the end, beauty doesn't live in the mirror. It lives in the meaning behind the marks we carry and the stories they tell. 6. The Korowai, tree houses and whispers of the forbidden. High above the jungle floor, where even sunlight struggles to break through, there are homes perched precariously on treetops, nearly 100 feet in the air. Welcome to the world of the Korowai tribe, deep within the remote rainforests of Papua New Guinea. Here, people don't just live close to nature, they live above it. But why build homes so high up? Not to chase views, but to escape evil spirits. Or so the Korowai believe. Their elevated tree houses, swaying in the wind, are sanctuaries meant to keep them safe from the Kakwa malevolent witch spirits said to devour from within. And that's where the mystery thickens. In recent decades, whispers have emerged, disturbing ones. Some Western reports claim that the Korowai once practiced ritual cannibalism, targeting those believed to be possessed by Kakwa. These weren't acts of violence for hunger, but of spiritual defense, deeply tied to belief. Yet no concrete evidence exists. Many anthropologists now question whether the so-called cannibalism ever truly happened or if it was misunderstood, exaggerated, or even staged during early outsider contact. Could this be a tragic case of cultural misrepresentation to the Korowai? What the West calls sorcery is a real danger. Those accused of being Kakwa were believed to cause sickness and death among kin. In a place untouched by modern science, their only remedy was elimination. As satellite phones and documentaries brought the outside world in, things began to shift. Some Korowai have moved closer to towns, attending schools and trading goods. Others still cling to the treetops, refusing to let go of ancestral ways. So are the tales true? Did the Korowai ever consume the cursed? Or is this one more story twisted by language barriers and exotic fascination? In the canopy of Papua, the answers sway like their homes always just out of reach. Because sometimes, the most haunting mysteries don't come from monsters, but from the spaces between belief and misunderstanding. 7. The Kazakh eagle hunters, spirits of the steppe. In the vast, windswept steppes of Western Mongolia, legends are not told, they're written. Here, warriors on horseback fly, not with wings, but with eagles, massive golden eagles, trained to hunt with deadly precision, glide beside their human companions like shadows of the sky. These are the Kazakh eagle hunters, a nomadic people whose lives are etched into the bones of the Altai Mountains. For generations, they have passed down a tradition unlike any other training eagles to hunt wolves, foxes, and even the spirits of their ancestors. But this is more than just survival. Among the Kazakhs, the eagle is sacred, a symbol of strength, freedom, and most intriguingly, a vessel for the warrior's soul. From a young age, boys are taught how to bond with their eagle. It's a relationship of mutual respect, not domination. They feed it, sleep beside it, even speak to it as if the bird can understand the silent language of the steppe. Over the years, the eagle becomes part of the hunter's spiritual identity. And then, one day, after years of shared hunts and whispered dreams, the eagle is released back into the wild, carrying with it a fragment of the warrior's spirit. Is it a form of reincarnation, a farewell? No one outside truly knows. What is known is that this tradition still lives, though fading. The Golden Eagle Festival, held each year, showcases these hunters in full regalia, eagle on arm, wind in their eyes, and generations of stories behind their gaze. UNESCO now recognizes this practice as an intangible cultural heritage, a nod to its mystery and its fragility. So, is the eagle just a hunter's tool, or is it something more, a guardian of souls, a messenger of the skies, a piece of ancient Mongolia that still soars, untamed? And as the eagle disappears into the clouds, one can't help but wonder, are we watching a bird or a spirit taking flight one last time? 8. The Yamal Nenets, nomads at -60 degrees Celsius. In the icy silence of Siberia, where temperatures plummet to -60 degrees Celsius, most life flees, but not all. Among the blizzards and frozen tundra, an ancient people still walk the Yamal Nenets. They do not just survive in the cold, they belong to it. These Arctic nomads roam the Yamal Peninsula, a name that means the end of the world. For them, it is home. For outsiders, it is a white abyss where human life seems impossible. Yet the Nenets thrive here, herding reindeer across endless snowfields, moving with the season, and living in cone-shaped tents made from animal hides. There are no roads, no power lines, no modern comfort, just snow, spirits, and survival. They speak to the wind through rituals, to the sun, to the stars, and to their ancestors. Shamans dance in the firelight, calling on forces older than time. And to the Nenets, reindeer are not mere animals, they are sacred, each one believed to hold a fragment of a soul. Children grow up on sleds, elders tell stories whispered through frost, and when the earth groans beneath the snow, some believe it is a sign, a prophecy frozen in the land itself. But this world is vanishing. Urbanization, pipelines, and the long shadow of Soviet history have chipped away at their freedom. Still, the Nenets resist, not with weapons, but with endurance. They migrate hundreds of miles each year, pulling entire homes behind them. They refuse permanent settlements and hold fast to traditions that defy time and temperature. So what keeps them warm in a world colder than most have ever known? It's not fire, not fur, it's faith in the land, in their ancestors, in their way of life, a flame that doesn't flicker, even in the deepest winter. And so the question lingers, in a place where breath turns to ice in seconds, what keeps the Nenets' spirit burning bright? As we've ventured through these strange and captivating cultures, we've only scratched the surface of the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of our world. From the rituals of life and death to the enigmatic beliefs that shape the fate of entire tribes, these practices remind us that humanity is full of surprises, secrets, and untold stories waiting to be discovered. In a world that's constantly changing, these ancient customs are like whispers from the past, guiding us to reflect on the complexity of existence itself. If you've enjoyed uncovering these extraordinary mysteries, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By joining our community, you'll not only discover more of the world's hidden wonders, but you'll also open the doors to wealth, health, and endless fortune. Stay curious, stay tuned, and keep exploring the unknown with us. See you in the next adventure.